Hello, welcome to Killing Time. This is the show that searches for entertainment that does not suck, and man, is that easy these days because Disney owns everything and they make everything pretty well. I'm Iyaz Akhtar, alongside the man we call Just Bob because he said, "Call me Just Bob." How's it going?
That's how it all began. That's right.
That's true. I used to be IA back when anonymity. And if you're watching the video and you're like, "Hey, Iyaz, you're out of sync," it's like, no, my mouth is out of sync. I just got a filling put in, and this part is still droopy. So if you want to play a game on your own, feel free to watch Droopy Mouth Iyaz. It's true. I don't normally have it this way. I'm watching the different expressions. I look like a clown.
Yes, it's not a stroke. He's okay. Don't worry.
Well, okay. I'm pretty okay. I don't know if I'm like totally okay.
Right.
You can worry.
Right.
About
I didn't say 100%.
Yeah, feel free to worry about me. I've got a let's see, I got a hangnail. Like that's pretty bad.
Okay, that's
so
bad.
I mean, everyone should be sending thoughts, prayers, likes, and dislikes, whatever the things you guys would do, reaction videos as to the news of me having a hangnail, which I clearly don't, but on this finger I do. Anyway, so today we're actually pre-recording because there's an NDA for the movie we're going to talk about, or at least I'm going to talk about. It's Solo, a Star Wars story. Rob, are you familiar with this movie? Because it's a movie I hear.
It's a small movie, right? It's an ensemble piece. Nothing big, very low budget.
Yep, that's true. It's a movie about a smuggler and his journey to being a smuggler and how he smuggles. So
and are there other smugglers involved?
There are several smugglers because there's some smuggling going on in the film, and it's from Lucasfilm, and there's the Mother of Dragons whose name is Kira in the movie. So I will say this movie, there's no spoilers to what we're talking about because I don't want to give it away. The movie doesn't open up till the 25th, and Rob hasn't seen the movie, so you're free to ask me questions, and if I sound like I'm saying too much, let me know. We got a comment from the chat room, which is literally Liz downstairs. She says, "But what about Bob? And where's his goldfish gill? Why don't you have a gill?" It's true. I just watched that for the first time, by the way. I can spoil that movie.
Did you?
That's messed up.
Interesting.
What about
Bill
Bob?
Murray.
Sidetrack. Messed up movie. It was like watching Richard Dreyfuss is in the Twilight Zone, and everyone's like, "This is fine," and I'm like, "This is not fine. Why is nobody catching on to this maniac who visits?" Did you find this thing disturbing? Just me.
Well, the thing is, you put it in context. Remember when that movie came out, people were much more accepting of strangers and things like that. Now, someone rings your doorbell, and it's almost like an invasion. You hide under the couch. You don't want to see who it is,
The guy faked his own suicide to get the address of his therapist. That's not okay. And the therapist tells his family, something like, "Oh, it's fine." No, it's not.
Truthfully, it's one of those things, if you explain the premise to somebody and then told them, "Oh, it's a comedy," they'd be like, "Excuse me?"
It's a stalker movie.
Yeah.
It's full on a stalker movie. Anyway, back to Solo.
Anyway, back to Solo. So, per usual, I can ask you kind of yes or no things that won't be spoilery.
Yes. So I'm going to just show some more of the movie here. Disney, feel free to take us now. You saw Paul Bettany there. You see the young man who's playing... Well, he's essentially playing Harrison Ford. He's trying to play Harrison Ford.
Yes. And is that there's a good question. Is that how he's playing the part? Is it like him trying to play the part, or does he put his own spin on it?
Okay, so let's be clear about what we're seeing in this movie. We have a journey of Han Solo turning into the guy we see into Episode 4. So when we see Han Solo at that point, by the end of Solo, we get to that point. So that's not a spoiler, I don't think.
From what I've heard, it takes place 10 years or so before the original, maybe a little less.
It takes place over a long period of time.
Okay.
We get some early Han Solo stuff. We get some later stuff. So maybe he's about 3 or 4 years off of Episode 4 when it comes to the timing on this. I would say this guy's acting it's good, but the thing he lacks is the charisma of Harrison Ford.
Which is, you can't fake that. I mean, it's just... Harrison Ford just has it in every movie he's in.
Now, I was talking to Liz about this, and the thing is, multiple people have played Batman, multiple people have played James Bond. It is not just about, can I fill the role, and can I have charisma? Right. I think certain actors could have done a charismatic job, and maybe make you forget about Harrison Ford, which would be very difficult, but a lot of the jokes fall flat, and when this movie was originally under the direction of the guys who did the Lego movie, I could see where the humorous beats would have been. And then you could see the straight lace say it this way, and you get some of that acting in there, and they're technically funny. There's certain moments that are technically funny, but they kind of fall flat. So the humor's a bit weak.
Does it suffer like Justice League suffered from having too many cooks in the kitchen, where they were trying to combine one set of directors' vision with the new director who came in and changed it to his vision, and they kind of piecemealing things together?
Well, it depends on what the original cut was. So this is, again, not a spoiler. This movie is essentially like a video game, right? There's there's a heist chase, heist chase, heist chase, heist chase, heist chase. Okay, I wasn't speaking German there. That's just what happens in the movie. It happens a lot. So it's so much. There's always like this plot device, and we're moving the story along. So we don't get a lot of. I don't want to say we get a lot of character development, but we don't have a ton of character development. You have a lot of different characters in this movie. You said that there's Paul Bettany playing a guy. I don't want to give that away. There's obviously Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. You've got the Kira, who is the woman from Game of Thrones. You've got Woody Harrelson's characters. You've got all these characters going on. You've got Chewbacca. You've got Han. You've got etc. You have a lot of people in this thing, and aliens, obviously. And I think some of them get short shrift, unfortunately. And there are some moments where, look, so we all know Han Solo gets through this movie, right? So that's
yes.
And so
it's hard to build suspense there.
Not necessarily. I mean, look, when we watch a Marvel movie, most Marvel movies, we're like, yeah, Cap is getting out of this fine. I'm going to watch the Winter Soldier movie. Maybe he won't survive it. Winter Soldier, anyway. You have these elements of, there's a good likelihood James Bond is not going to die in this movie. But let's see a situation where it's super difficult to come up with a solution how he gets out or how she gets out. Because, when you're watching The Hunger Games, well, there's another movie coming out next year, at this point, but that kind of situation, you're not really worried for it. But you could create a situation where you have this perilous feeling, this kind of uneasiness.
But then again, we got the Avengers where we know Spider-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy are coming out and they all disappeared.
Yeah, so the question is, how do they write around it? So that's going to be the much better point of the movie, because if they just kind of use a time stone, it never happened. That's going to be very unsatisfying, because we watched 2.5 hours of pain, right? So, and there was a spoiler for Infinity War. If you haven't watched it yet, sorry, things happen. I don't feel so good.
Based on how much money it's made, everybody's seen it.
At least once. So this film, while it does have some stakes to it, and it does have some surprises, the surprises are incredibly predictable. Stuff is telegraphed. It's competent. I'd say it's probably like a B-, maybe a C+ kind of movie.
Now, do you think it's going to make a boatload of money because of the subject matter? I
believe the first weekend will do great. And I think there's going to be a sharp drop-off on the second weekend.
Okay.
Very sharp drop-off. I don't think this is going to be a...
So you don't think it'll match, Rogue One's performance, which is the last, a Star Wars story?
Well, that was the last, but it was also the first of the Star Wars stories. And this one has, I think, bigger shoes to fill, because it's a character that's already established, with an actor who's already established.
It's not new characters, right? Yeah. And we already know how it ends up, so it's a whole different, influence. It's like if we had a Obi-Wan movie, which, if they ever make.
So this film, there needs to be no other Solo movies. If that's a spoiler, pretty much anything that's ever been mentioned about Han Solo, I believe it's been answered in this film.
They took care of it. Well, that's good. That's good, because people always wondered that.
Yeah, it's like, when did they meet Chewie? Don't worry about that. You know he meets Chewie in the movie because you've seen the trailer.
Yeah.
He wasn't just
next question. My guess, I already know the answer. Which actor steals the show? Who does an amazing job?
This guy?
Yeah, I figured.
Donald Glover.
I saw him just do his, Saturday Night Live skit, being him, and it was awesome.
That was another frustrating point. So if Donald Glover shows up into the movie and he's full on Billy D. Williams, and he's not pulling any punches, he's oozing charisma, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got Han, who again is still learning to be this smuggler guy. He's still learning and getting comfortable with himself at this point. And so he's got a lot of indecision. So you do have a different kind of Han Solo, but you don't see any of that underlying, like, yeah, I got this. You see some bravado, and some false bravado at that, but you don't see this internally confident guy. Now, that's fine, because that's a character arc, right? You can have like, yeah, well, he's got to learn to be this guy.
He's going to get there, yeah.
But it's kind of, it's like night and day. You're watching Donald Glover and him go back and forth, and Glover is just killing it. Even there's a droid in that shot. I'm going to try to go back in this trailer here. There's a droid in the shot that's with Lando. The droid, very interesting. Like, so far, the droids in Star Wars stories, when it came to K2SO, and this one's called L3. That's a spoiler. Very good. Very interesting. So the droids are good. Chewie's good. Like, at the end of the film, this is not a huge spoiler either, there are scenes where Han is backlit, at least the actor is, and there you can totally believe he's Harrison Ford. He's acting like him. He's kind of quiet. He's kind of smug. And even with the lighting, he looks like him. But most of the movie, he just looks... I mean, his voice is very high compared to Harrison Ford. So that's kind of weird to try to get your head around. So do you think a different casting would have made the movie better? Yeah, I think so. Okay. I think even if you had a voice that sounded nothing like Harrison Ford, or a look that didn't look like Harrison Ford, if the person had the right amount of swagger and had the same amount of control and confidence about them, I'm not saying this as a character, I'm saying you could see it underneath. Like Idris Elba, right? He's in everything. He always seems collected and calm, and he could put that in, even if he was weak-willed in whatever movie he's in, you could believe that underneath he's not. And in this film... Do you think I thought this could be, maybe if they got somebody a little bit older. Yes and no. And before we get to that, let's thank our patrons. You guys who are supporting our show, patreon.com/Iyaz. If you like what we do, like the way I speak... if you like the do... Do the do. Do the do, and go to patreon.com/Iyaz and support the show, because we can't do this without you. And thanks a lot for sticking with us so far. Patreon.com/Iyaz is the place to go to back the show. And that rhymed. And I didn't mean that to rhyme. So back to your question. If somebody was older, if there was an older actor playing Han Solo, maybe it would work. I really think I don't think it's about age. I think it's about... Yeah. I don't want to rag on this actor, okay, because I haven't seen him in anything else. Right. This is about the performance, and this performance at any age wasn't... And could it have been direction, in your opinion, or was it just him? From the rumors were that the Lego guys were trying to get improv out of this guy, and he had trouble with that. And then Ron Howard took over, so he would essentially get this actor to just do his parts. I think the direction might have helped the performance, honestly, because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of improv or like overly jokey stuff. Which, I guess the first half of the movie, second half of the movie, you could maybe see a line, because it looks like Ron Howard did the first half of the movie, because it's very, okay, say the line, Bart, say the line. Okay, you got it, fine. And there's a little bit more room to breathe for the characters in the second half of the film. So maybe you can kind of see that. I don't think the direction caused the issue, because every other character, or every other actor in every shot seemed to be doing fine. And I don't want to pick on the guy playing Han Solo, whose name escapes me. I got to look this up. Does it feel long? Yes. Okay. An hour and 45 in, it starts dragging, because we have, like I said, we have so many chases and so many heists in this film. It's essentially the entire movie until the final act, which breathes a lot more. But since you've been taking on this video game, essentially, like, okay, we got to go there, and now we got to do this, and now meet this person. Now go over there, and then now we got our final scheme. And that's going to take a while to play out. And it's a much slower scheme. So after an hour and 45 minutes of car chases, essentially, you have a scheme playing out. So you're like, I see. It's taking But at that point, you're exhausted from the hour and 45 minutes of car chases. Yeah, it's about 2 hours and 10 minutes, I want to say. 2 hours 15 is actually what IMDb says. I guess that counts the credit. It's Alden Ehrenreich. Well, that's... Alden Ehrenreich. I'm going to put this up on the screen, because I'm like, maybe I am having a stroke. Browser window. Let's see if I can just make this bigger. Okay, try to make this better. There's his last name. There we go. I'm going to make this huge so you can guys see it. Oop, too far. There you go. So for those listening to the audio only, I'm showing the guy's name. His name is Alden Ehrenreich, and I believe he is good. I think he's a good actor. I just don't think he's a good Han Solo. I think he's a good actor, just not right for this role. At least, you know what, maybe, now going back to what you said, maybe it is the direction, because the character he plays in the beginning is he's still learning to be Han Solo. Maybe they could have done the movie in a point where they give us the end of the movie first, see the confidence in him, and then go backwards so you could see, oh, now. But then again, we technically had that. But we didn't have the same actor. You need to see that actor.
I see what you're saying.
Success first, and then we can see him struggle, and then we can get the success point again. Maybe that would have helped the story in this. Ron Howard does a great job. ILM did an amazing job. This thing looks phenomenal. It's beautiful looking. The visual effects are fantastic. I'm
guessing you, since it was a screener, you only saw it in 2D, right?
I saw it in 2D. It was
but it's probably a good 3D movie.
Yeah, there's a lot because there's car chase.
Yeah,
say that 12 times fast, and they're mostly CG.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's going to translate very well. It looked very impressive, and looks like they spent. It's like we're doing this in house. We're going to get the house rate of ILM. It's like 5 cents on the hour. They had some crazy stuff. So I want to say that Thandie Newton from Westworld, who's in the movie, is completely wasted.
Oh, she's a great actress. That's too bad.
She is, but she is.
I mean, wasted. Well, just watch Westworld. Amazing.
Paul Bettany is great. I did not know Jon Favreau was in the movie. There are droids in this movie, and there are a lot of aliens, lots of puppets. So I love that. Big fan of that.
Cool.
And I want to make one more mention before we wrap this up, unless you got any questions.
No, you've hit all the big ones.
There's a point in the movie that you will think this, and I'm trying to find it. There's many, many pages of notes. This is a long movie. Okay, that's pretty funny. Oh, this movie made me laugh maybe about twice, which is not a good number.
That's not good. I would think that just Donald Glover in general would be able to make you laugh more than twice.
Well, it wasn't just... Here we go. Here's the phrase. I'm not going to tell you why, but you will think this phrase during the movie at some point. They fixed that fuckery. Think about it.
They fixed
that fuckery.
Fuckery. Okay.
It will make a lot of sense when you see the movie.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you even when it happens. You go, oh, they fixed that fuckery. That's the first thing I thought, and I wrote it down because that's exactly what happens in the film. There's a part of the movie they fix that fuckery.
Something. Okay. Awesome.
So look forward to that point of the film.
Cool.
Do you have any questions about Solo whatsoever?
The last question is, I am going to a alehouse type place. Do I need to really pay attention, or can I have a beer or two while I'm watching the movie?
Holy shit, do you not have to pay attention to this? Did you watch Star Wars ever?
Yeah.
More than once?
Yeah.
Do you know about, like, oh, there's a Chewbacca, there's a Wookiee that is, and there's a Lando.
Okay, cool.
All right, so if you've seen the trailers, you probably... Oh, do you know that Han's a pilot?
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh,
he fancies himself to be a pilot of some kind?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, so, and there's conflict in the galaxy. Oh, that's cool.
Really?
There we go. Yeah, so otherwise, I mean, you might need to pay attention slightly. I mean really hard. You got to pay attention really hard to get some of the character names. Because they're like, an hour goes in, you're like, what is that guy's name? Oh, they never told us that. Not a fan of that. I don't want a full exposition of like, this is my friend, Binder. But like, you know, if you're establishing groups and things, you might want to know who they are. And you might want to care about them because if Han likely will survive the movie, you might want to care about all the characters because you might think somebody must get. There must be some stakes here. So
yes, absolutely, somebody's got to go.
And Liz is mentioning this now. Chris Pine, how he played Captain Kirk to be like Harrison Ford / Han Solo. So Chris Pine in Star Trek is more Han Solo than Ehrenreich.
Okay. Yes. He did play that part like Han. So that was very true.
So it's possible. You can do it. You can look different. You can sound different, but you can still embody that role. So if you're going to see it in theaters, definitely worth watching. Just because of like pop culture, it's worth watching because it looks great. It's not a train wreck. It's not a bad movie.
Like you said, it gives a lot of answers to questions people had about Han Solo.
I don't know if it gives you answers so much. It just fills in the pictures. Like, do you want to know about this? None of you ever wondering, like, well, how do you meet Chewbacca? Or like, are they friends now? It's like, yeah. Does he understand that Wookiee? Probably. I mean, they seem to get along, right? Yeah. So like, these aren't like burning questions. Like, how did this happen? It's just like,
So you get answers to questions you never were asking.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much it. What's the name of the game in which Han wins the Millennium Falcon? Do you know the name?
Um,
The card game?
I've heard it before, but something with a B, I don't know.
Anyway, on that note, we're going to get out of here. We're going to have new episodes of KillingTime.tv. We have it at YouTube as well. If you don't like the ads on the YouTube stuff, you can go and get the podcast, which is available for free with no ads other than when I say this stuff. And I promote KillingTime.tv and patreon.com/Iyaz. So there you go with that. We're going to get out of here. Next time we're back, we won't be reviewing What About Bob because we did that here.
Yeah, Audie took care of it.
Go ahead, hit like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. That's right.
Like
I'm saying
subscribe.
that.
Like and subscribe.
Yes,
Like
that should be one word. So now I'm killing the recording. So, auf Wiedersehen. I can say that fine.